soldiers saying, "Now we're going to be rescued." There just wasn't any reception committee. If the reception of the port has been disappointing, then Paris more than makes up for it. The 4th of July, 1917, is a transatlantic holiday full of history and of portent. America has emerged from its hemisphere. The children of Europe have come home to Europe. The colonel on Pershing's staff announced, "Lafayette, we are here." And a Parisian woman notes in her journal that the Americans look as fresh as cherubs. Doughboys, an old foot soldier's term. The press tries to dub them Sammies, from Uncle Sam. But, complains the soldiers' own paper, the Stars and Stripes, never have we nauseated and unnerved a doughboy by calling him Sammy. Far from combat ready, the doughboys are only an American presence, not yet an American army. But the presence is felt, its tone of swagger and bravado, set by young officers like Colonel Douglas MacArthur, just 37. Now on the staff of the Rainbow Division, he will later become its commander, described by Pershing as the best leader of troops we have. Another young officer, Captain George C. Marshall, will be tapped by Pershing for a high command role on the staff of the growing AEF. The roster of divisions is lengthening, the 2nd, half Army and the other half Marines, like Sergeant Merv Silverthorne, the Minnesota college student, and Corporal Steve Schwebke of Wisconsin. In the 1st Division, Cy Clement and Merle Hay from Iowa. George Seaman, ex-dancing teacher with MacArthur's outfit, the 42nd. Other divisions soon join them, the 26th and 41st. Fresh manpower which the Allied generals would like to absorb man by man into their own riddled armies. But Pershing insists on keeping them intact and out of reach. To drill his green troops into an independent, attack-minded army. This is Pershing's aim. To cooperate with the Allies, not to merge with them. These are his orders from President Wilson. While the buildup goes on, the Yanks take a hand in the housekeeping duties of war. Engineering jobs, construction jobs. They help repair damaged supply lines, help build new ones. French coastal towns are developed into American ports, new docks and depots to receive the new army and feed it. Fretting at the chores assigned to them, some units volunteer for action. Among the first is the 15th Colored Infantry Regiment. In French uniform, they are assigned to frontline duty with the Allies. In the fall of 1917, other American units begin taking brief turns in the trenches, in a so-called bon secteur, a quiet area where a kind of gentleman's agreement prevails, an agreement between enemies to live and let live. On November 2nd, 1917, the agreement is broken. The Germans decide to give the newcomers a taste of war in one of its ugliest forms, the trench raid. This is the awful baptism. In the German raid on the Allied trenches, 3 Americans are killed. Buried with honors by their French colleagues, they are the first. And one of them is Merle Hay, the volunteer from Iowa. The age of innocent adventure has become a time of sacrifice. It is December 1917. Behind the lines of a bitter war, Americans play a new and prophetic part in the life of Europe. In the costume of Santa, the role of Uncle. It will continue as long as they are over there. This is a unique era in international relations, a time when alliance is a daily thing. It is the era of parlez-vous and tout de suite, of Mamselle, who occasionally becomes Mrs. At headquarters level, the Allies meet in crisis. In April 1918, with danger brewing on the Western Front, Pershing confers with the chief of the new Supreme Command, French General Ferdinand Foch. The mood is one of courtesy under strain. The Allies are impatient for the manpower that Pershing has kept under wraps. Pershing is concerned about the way they might use it. But a decision emerges. The Americans will send a number of divisions to bolster the sagging Allied lines. The pressure is severe. A whole series of German offensives aimed like hammer blows to crush the Allies before America can reinforce them. The apex of the front is a village called Cantigny. There, America joins the battle. Of May 28th, after a pre-dawn artillery barrage, the American 1st Division moves out, under French orders. It has all been rehearsed for 5 days beforehand behind the lines, and it catches the Germans off guard. Within an hour, the village of Cantigny is in American hands, and with it more than 200 prisoners. For the first time in the war, American troops have seized ground from the enemy. Nine days later, orders for the 2nd Division, its Army troops, its Marines resentfully wearing Army uniform. Their objective is a minor one, a wooded patch of front recently seized by the Germans. It will become a place of trial, Belleau Wood. Marines approach their objective with infantry advancing on their right. 400 yards to cross in the open. Nothing to stop them until they reach the very edge of the wood.